Brothers coming at you once again, GMS Tampa, another live class, Wednesday live class. Before we get started, we'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kwakadash, double honor to Apostle, Great Millstone, do well. Peace, love, and blessings also to you brothers on the highways and byways, giving out diligence and making calling, election sure, and also blessings to very few sisters out there listening, learning, believing. Alright, once again, we your fellow labels coming at you from GMS Tampa, another live. Lord's will is edifying. And as you can see, the image in various topics, okay? You see a lot of things are moving fast. We're seeing things move, we're hearing it. Esau is moving very fast with his NWO, New World Order agenda, which is going to his image. All right, which is the modern day version of the image. The image is NWO. All right, and everything that comes with it, what it stands for. Okay, we can get right to it. Revelation 13 and 11.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
So this beast is a representation of a kingdom, because when you read Daniel, when you read Revelation, none of these beasts, all right, actually exist. Lion with 4 wings, all right. Those animals, don't exist. So these beasts are a representation, a metaphor for a kingdom. So this beast that John is talking about, another beast coming out. Go ahead.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
And as this beast is American, he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, those 2 horns represent the 2 political parties. All right, modern, basically, Democrat and Republican. All right, during the time of Rome was the plebeians and the patricians. Okay, so they had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And the dragon is the draconian laws, the draconian measures. All right, and we haven't really saw it yet, but we're about to see it. All right, it's about to exercise that dragon-like characteristics, which these harsh characteristics. And you saw a little bit of that back in 2020, when you were asked to stay home and quarantine. Okay, but we see that ramping back up now. This devil is really finna get ready to show his horns, man. Okay, you really finna see some harsh laws and harsh legislations passed. Definitely we get into the topics of summary executions. We're basically in a time of war. You have no basically right to a trial where you just execute it on the spot. Well, these are the times we're coming in, the times of Jacob's trouble. Definitely for you who hold a ministry, all right, your ministers. Okay, the time of persecution come where this dragon. All right, basically the Rome reincarnated is getting ready to persecute the Christians, which are the Israelites, the men of the Lord, the anointed ones, again, with these draconian measures. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast.
So he exercised all the power of the first beast, so basically mimicking Rome. Okay, America exercised all the power of the beast that was prior to it in Rome, in Daniel's. The material, the metal that was referred to as iron. Okay, and Rome was known, all right, for its iron weaponry during its time. Okay, they perfected the iron weaponry, and iron is a very, very strong metal. Okay, and that's likened unto the Roman Empire. They used their military. They basically conquered the whole known world at the time by their military might and their military force. Okay, so America basically the same. Through their military, okay, they basically went around conquering the whole planet Earth. Very strong. Go ahead.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Exactly. To worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And it was healed in the Renaissance era. Right? Renaissance being a rebirth. Okay, and basically grew into this big superpower you have today, NATO, EU. Okay, and what the last part said, Robert Shaw?
and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed.
Exactly. It causes them. How does it cause them? Like basically, there was military might. You know, there was a time where every nation was afraid of America. All right. Basically, do as they say, or you'll be met with the military. So he caused all of them to worship this beast. Okay. The spread forth its philosophies, its ways of life. All right. And basically, you were in danger of being invaded militarily if you didn't cooperate, or in danger of being bombed. They showed you at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all right, when they dropped them bombs on Japan. So you were in danger of those things. So basically caused them. So that's why all nations were basically in conglomerate with America, participating, being obedient, or else they would have to face that military power, those draconian measures, if you will. Go ahead.
Verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven.
Exactly, and this is how you know this is talking about America, that beast. Do great wonders and make a fire come down from heaven. That's talking about those the bombs that they dropped. Okay, making fire come down from the skies, basically. All right. You remember Elijah in the Old Testament, that miracle being performed. Well, Esau is able to perform those miracles, not on the same level, but he's able to perform those miracles through his technology. Okay, we saw recently in Hawaii. All right, that's no secret. It's only a secret to the mainstream media what caused those fires. But it's no secret that basically everyone is evidence out there in the internet. People's talking about it, that basically lasers started those wildfires. Okay, so we make a fire come down from heaven once again by the means of his technology. He's able to perform those miracles. Go ahead.
And he do a great wonder, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
In the sight of men. So the whole world saw, all right, when they dropped those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
So deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. Okay, through his technology, basically making him as a god, if you will. All right, able to perform miracles that basically the average person cannot recreate. Go ahead.
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. So
make an image to the beast, man. Okay? So we come into that time where Esau is he's conquered the whole planet Earth. And he's enslaved all nations monetarily by his dollar. And then the nations that didn't want to get with the program, like you had Gaddafi, okay? Supposedly those Middle Eastern countries that was ready to use a currency other than the US dollar, gold, for example. Okay, they were invaded. Okay, so here it is now. He's got all these nations in a financial prison, financial debt. Okay, and he's getting ready to push the final version of his image, which is the NWO. All right, and everything that comes with. As they say, one government, one banking system, one world religion. Okay, this is that image that he's portraying, and him basically being the Almighty God, having everybody chipped, and everybody basically paying tribute unto him, controlling everyone. He'll be able to cut you off, cut you off from access to the global market if you disobey him. He basically be able to kill you, because once he cut off that chip, if you receive it, you basically as good as dead. Okay, because you can't buy or sell. But scripture say, our life is hidden with Yahweh Shai, so we're not going to accept it anyways. But per se, you was a part of society and you didn't obey, he just cut you off. All right, he'll blacklist you. So wherever you go, you're limited. He can confine you to one city, because if you go out of that city, okay, your device, your chip won't work on the other part. So, basically, total control, as Aaron Russo said in that interview with Nick Rockefeller. Okay, they just want total control, and they'll have total control by the means of those miracles, by the means of this technology. Go ahead.
Verse 15, Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, which means make it alive, make it active,
Exactly.
And call.
Right now we got the word of the Most High. We're speaking it, okay, but we don't have the power, basically the power to enact it and enforce it on the planet Earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The power is in speaking. We're waking up brothers and sisters, but actually the power to enforce it to where people have to obey this or face judgment or punishment, we don't have that power yet. That's why we gotta wait on Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai will come and basically he will give power to the image of the Most High, because that's the true NW, or the true New World Order. Is when Yahweh Shai come back and he comes with that power, as he say, with power, with great power. Yahweh Shai will have the power to basically make the image of the Most High appear. But that's what Esau is able to do through his technology and his military might. Okay, he's able to push forth his laws and his ordinances, and if you don't obey, he's able to basically execute you or enact judgment on you if you don't obey. Okay, because right now you got the freedom of that's why they get rid of the Constitution. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, right to bear arms. You see, all those things are being attacked. Okay, that's why they got things called HATE speech. All right, really the Constitution is done away with. Your rights are done. Okay, and this is what you say. He got his power to give it, because now he can lock you up. He can fine you if you speak up against his, the alphabet crew. So he has that power to enact, like you say, to give it life, to give his image life. You got it?
I got a quick precept for you. This book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges.
So power, domain was given unto him. Okay? So if he's wicked, well, he's going to have wicked laws, wicked ways. Okay? So he's going to enforce, going again, another time period, Hellenization. So basically he's going to, that's the term you can use, he's going to re-Hellenize the world again. Okay? And he's going to have the power to do so. As I say, you saw when you do the reading up on Alexander, he had great military might. He mastered the science or the art of war. Okay, so basically he pushed those Greek customs, that Hellenization upon the whole world, and what he was able to enforce it by the way of his military might. Say that at the point that the whole world stood at fear or was quiet before him, the whole world was quiet before him. Okay, so once Esau come with his, ultimately it's the Most High, but what Esau come with his tactics, his war tactics, it's basically he's sieging the whole planet Earth. When he comes with that famine, which is an act of war, declaration of war, he comes with that pestilence, biological warfare, all right, and then he psychological warfare with all the things enchantments and stuff he's putting on the TV. So you're at war on all fronts. Okay, so basically he's able to enact and force his ways upon you by declaring war on you. Okay, and if you don't want to get down, you don't want to surrender, wave the white flag, and bow down to the image, which you're going to get into, then you're put to death. That's why the scriptures speak about, basically, they love not the elect, have to love not their lives unto death, because there's going to come a time where you're faced with death. You may be faced with death, or you're going to have to bow down to his image. And you bow down to his image is a direct offense against the Heavenly Father. The first and the greatest offense against the Heavenly Father, which is worshiping other gods, man. Okay? We'll get into that in Daniel. Go ahead,
Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. he covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
If not, and where and who is he? All right. So basically, he became the judge of the planet Earth. All right. Because the laws of the Most High not being enacted, he's able to judge you according to his laws and execute judgment according to his ways. What he see fit. And that's, the turning of things upside down. Calling good evil and evil good. Okay, these are the ordinances we're underneath, all right, of the wicked. And he has the power to enforce them, and it's nothing we can do. The only thing we can do is keep our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and not bow down to his image, and nor take his mark, not conform to his ways. You got it?
I got something quick. Because Proverbs 8 and I read 15 and 16. It says, by me kings reign and princes decree justice. By me princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. And Proverbs 8 chapter is a deep chapter, is referring to Yahushai. But you go into the right hand side, of course, the Lord rules over kings. It says when princes do justice, he deals with the nobles, those are the judges of the earth. So if he does the right hand side, obviously he deals with the left hand side. It says false balance is abomination. Daniel 2nd chapter, says that he changes the times, the seasons, he sets up kings, he brings them down, and again, ultimately go into who's in control is the Lord, So going to what Esau's doing, the Lord gave him power to do that, So what's happening is all going to his prophecy, because it says in Ecclesiastes, for the 3rd chapter, whatever the Most High do, it is forever, So pretty much what he says is going to come to pass, and it's that last and final prophecy for the kingdom comes. So we know these things are speaking now because these are the last end time prophecies that we're waiting for.
And Esau was able to do these things like the brothers going into because the Lord gave him that power, and this goes all the way back to Esau's blessing. So that's why he had the power, to send those direct energy weapons, to cause famine, to invade countries, because ultimately, the Lord set them up. So I got a quick one that we get back into Revelation. This the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 4. It says, "Where the word of a king is, there is power." We just read, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So Esau's the king he's the god of this world. He's the king of this world. So what he says, go. It says, "Where the word of a king is, there is power." So he got the power to give life unto the image of the beast. It says, "And who may say unto him, what doest thou?" You can't say nothing to Esau Edom right now because the Lord set him up. And ultimately, that's why we waiting on Yahushua, because he coming back, with the authority from the Most High Yahweh, to subdue the whole earth. And, going into the prophecies, he's come back to claim what really is his, man.
And the Lord called Cyrus the Great his anointed. He called Nebuchadnezzar my servant. So Esau ain't nothing special. He just being used according to prophecy. He mentioned Alexander the Great. His 4 generals, all that's written in the scriptures. You have to understand the history, to understand the mystery, as the apostles say. And going to prophecy, you have to understand the so-called America's Babylon the Great. Nothing else makes sense. And then going to a system, that's where you have to talk about MOTB. That's where in Revelation 13th chapter, which is a seed, the system.
And no, go ahead.
No, I got my Revelation.
Yep. And in this time, where you got to prove you down with it. That's why you're gonna have to receive this mark, which is a line being drawn in the sand. Okay. Yeah, you can say, oh, you down this, you down and down that, but Esau wants you to receive my mark. He wants you to receive his mark. He wants to brand you. All right. Basically, going into you got to make a covenant with him in blood. You down with it? You down with the system? Okay. Go ahead. Give up your sacrifice. Which is going back to his birthright, and you want to basically he beguiling you out of your birthright. Okay, once you make that covenant with him, with blood, same thing that happens on the right hand side. He's still trying to get you fulfilled on the left hand side, and give up your soul. Basically, sell your soul over to him. But you got it.
Back in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, we'll go back to verse 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed."
Exactly, and that's the straight up dictator, tyranny Once again, going into the terms summary execution. If you can, Barbara Shaw, look that term up real fast. My summary execution. You just probably Wikipedia and probably just read like the first little bit of it. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, that's declared during the time of war, or something to that point.
Yeah. Summary execution. It says a summary execution is an execution in which a person is accused of a crime and immediately killed without the benefit of a full and fair trial.
Exactly, without the benefit of a full and fair trial. Because you people gonna realize, man, there's no more constitution. Okay? That's it. And you're gonna realize that when all hell break loose and you find out that this is now a global system, because they say America got their independence. You know, they won the wars and got their independence. You're going to find out that we're operating on this is now a new NWO, a New World Order. We're operating on a global law. It's no longer your independent contract. Like I say, the Constitution is just a piece of paper. So you're going to be operating on basically like on an international law where your Constitution is not included within that. And when it comes time when all hell break loose and things like summary executions take place and you don't have your right to a trial or your right to your phone call or whatever the case may be, or right to a lawyer, you just execute on the spot, then you're going to really see this man speaking as a dragon. Then you're going to really know. Shit going to get real then. Alright? But basically you have power to give us the image of the beast. So let's get an account in Daniel real fast. We'll go to Daniel's chapter 2 verse 19. Alright? And basically this was Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Or the Babylonian name was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Alright, during the time of the Babylonian under Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian captivity. Okay? Where, you know, it's nothing new underneath the sun. This is just modern day Babylon, aka America. So this is Daniel 2 verse 19. It says, Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the power of heaven. And Daniel answered and said, No, that's not it. It's lucky. This is This is Daniel chapter 3 verse 12. I'll start at 8. Daniel 3 and 8. It says, Wherefore at the time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. Okay. They spake and said unto the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. You know, coming here with the flattery. You know, and they basically telling on Daniel, man. All right. It says, Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. Once again, that image. Get that in the law in Exodus 20. Is it 20 and 4? Right? About what the Most High basically said about worshiping images. So this devil is set up his image, his ideology, his way of life. And a lot of you are going to bow down to it and receive his mark. But that's in indirect, what's the word I'm looking for? That's an indirect trespass to the Most High. Basically, you bow down and worshiping the image. Go ahead.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath.
All right, so this is the law. So basically, Daniel and his companions were following that law. Okay, they wasn't about getting down and worshiping the image. Okay, like we is right now. Lord willing, we be those men. We're gonna be in the same spirit. We be at 144,000. We're gonna be in the same spirit, man. They tell you in Romans here, as he told Elijah, reserve 7,000 men that haven't bowed down to the image of Baal. So, and likewise this time. Now, even in this time, the Lord has a complete number of men that's not going to bow down to this image, this NWO, which is fastly approaching. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 4, it says, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Yep. So likewise, man, you know, same thing with Esau. His image is NWO, where you basically going to have to receive his mark. The Lord said you should not bow down to them, nor worship him, nor be a part of this system. Go ahead.
For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
So the Most High is a jealous power. So when he comes back, Yahushua comes back and he sees you've been marked, you're going to get burnt, man. The scripture says jealousy is a rage of a man. So you that woman that has been defiled, you're unclean. So you're gonna be burnt, man. Okay.
I got something real quick.
You got it.
Because it said he will visit them. He said he visited the iniquity upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Because the Lord is looking for obedience. Okay. So you pretty much obeying another God. The Lord, he gave us the laws. He told us what he wanted us to do to serve him, to please him. So you pretty much like going to the word rebellion, you pretty much declare war. So this is Proverbs chapter 8, verse 36. It says, but he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. So pretty much you worship another God. That means you saying, like you said indirectly, but you directly, because the prophet's out here warning you. So you directly disobeying the Lord. You know, like they said online, can you deliberately disobey me? You directly disobeying the Lord, and you telling the Lord that you hate him. So he's saying, if you hate him, you love death, because he gonna kill you, man. Simple as that.
That was it on that. Come, so back in Daniel 3, verse, I'll read 10 again. It says, Thou, O king, has made a decree, and Esau being a modern day king, he's gonna make a decree for everybody to receive a mark. Okay? Thou, king, has made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image.
Now today is going to be your television. You know, your so-called news reporters, you know, Esau's prophets, so to say. You know, those guys are like set up, you know, to speak for the beast.
Charmers.
Those charmers. There you go. You know, that's what's going to be in this time. You know, just like they did with the juice mandates. It's going to be the same thing. All mandatory vaccinations. You know, if you don't take the vaccinations, you get penalties, you know, stuff like this, you lose your job, so on and so forth. You know, so how much more we want to see if this made mandatory? You know.
It's gonna be his last song. And he gonna sing it real beautifully, you know, to you. You know, all you people are in all this financial turmoil, these financial woes. When he's singing that song to you and tell you that it's gonna it's promised financial freedom, and you'll be out of debt, universal basic income, you receive these amount of credits every month. You don't have to work, just obey. It's going to be a very sweet song, all right? And you're going to bow down and worship that image. Oh, yes.
Yeah, because it said like pretty much all those different, you know, musical instruments, like brothers going into like the charmers, you know, things you see on TV, like, you know, everything they got roundabout, like they whole law system, their whole system they got set up, whether it's registering your cars, like everything goes back to worshiping him and serving him. But we gotta always keep the Lord on our mind, you know. So pretty much he using that to stir up your mind. Hey, remember who's your God. Remember who's in charge of you. So bow down and worship me. And he got you pretty much cornered in on every corner. But we gotta remain, you know, resilient. You know what I'm saying? And just fight through.
Verse 11, it says, Whoso falleth not down, remember summary execution, and whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. So basically summary execution. You don't go down with it, because the crime you committed, all right, you commit a crime basically. You're not willing to get down with the program. You know, they might call you a terrorist or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's a crime you commit. Treason. You don't know who you are. Crimes, man. You speaking up against the system. That's a crime. You know they've been demonizing so-called conspiracies. Those are all crimes, man. It says there are certain, them demonizing something is basically them setting the foundation to make it a crime, basically. Okay? And that's basically what they're doing. When they demonize something, they set a foundation to they're making it a crime. Yeah, they're not enacting the law on it or putting you in prison, but that's the foundation for it. That's the gateway to make it a crime. When the demonization. Okay?
If you don't fear him, then that's where rebellion comes. He has to make examples, because that's why he's cutting off certain people, dudes, coming against the system. They just disappear, dropping dead, because they don't need that kind of resistance, because they know that all it takes is one person. About was it Bug's Life? The grasshopper.
Oh, yeah.
Saying it's just one ant. But if one stands up, they all can stand up. And people figure it out, they'll pretty much still crack the system, and it won't work, because this NWO all relies on participation and belief, credit, and it goes to faith. So you have to buy into the system in order for it to work. But that's why Esau's going to come down that great wrath. It says the wrath of the king is as the messengers of death in Proverbs. I think it says in Proverbs well, so the king's wrath is as a roaring lion. And that's Esau right now. Talking about seeking whom we can devour, spiritual demon say, who moves over Esau, the spiritual demon say. So that's what we do. Fear tactics. That's what we do.
You're using the Most High's tactics. Try to persuade you through fear. As we try to persuade you on the right-hand side, Esau, he copies the Most High, man. Try to persuade you through fear on the left-hand side to get you to cooperate. Right? Because when you in your fear, you're in your emotions, and your flesh, and all the flesh wants is comfortability. So he's going to offer you that comfort. All right.
You can read that last part.
Verse 11.
I believe so. The last one that you read.
This Daniel 3:11, and whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Yeah. So whosoever do not worship, his image, whosoever do not worship his NWO, should be put into the fire. But this is the mindset that we gotta have. Like the brother reading about the 3 holy children. So this is an apocrypha. It says the song of the 3 holy children, are also known as the prayer of Azariah. Chapter 1, verse 1, it says, and they walked in the midst of the fire, praising the Most High and blessing the Lord. So we pretty much got to gear up our minds to be
Under fire.
Exactly ready to go all the way to the furthest extent, right? And I'm going to jump down to verse 44. It says, O ye fire and heat, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever. Because ultimately, hey, it's just the element, man. The Lord created the fire. He gave commandment to the fire not to burn you just as he did them, So that's the type of faith that we got to have going forward, because it's going to get real hot out here, man.
Back in Daniel 3:12, it says, there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these men, O king. Look, these men were set, as it said, set over the affairs of provinces in Babylon. So they was in high positions. So another example of men of the Lord being in high positions and not caring. They don't care about it. That's when you go on the topic. The scriptures say, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world." The scriptures say basically Moses became, he instead of being called Pharaoh's son, basically he became poor, man. He forsook it all. So here it is: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were set over high affairs in the province of Babylon. But they didn't care. They didn't care about those positions. And they was doing good, living good, eating good. Okay? But they didn't care. It says, these men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy powers, thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Hey, this is a precept to back up what you said about Proverbs, about the king of the fury, the king's fury.
Yeah.
It says, then Nebuchadnezzar, if you want to get that, find it. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach and what Esau's coming with his wage and his fury. If you get that in Revelation 12 real quick, Bible shop, that'd be a good precept to go with that. So the king is going to come down with his fury, man, if you don't want to worship the beast in his image. Which is going to go into persecution as well. We don't want speaking up against his image, okay, and telling people what's to come and not to accept it. So the king is going to come down with fury because we're not with it. We're not worshiping his image. Go ahead and get that real quick, my God.
Proverbs. Which one is it? There's two. I quoted two. It's Proverbs 16 and 19.
Somebody
King
keep
Furious, Fury.
Yeah. Oh,
Both of them say.
they both say the same thing, but I'll get 19. It's Proverbs 19 verse 12. It says, "The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass." So that's why, going to a king, everybody wants to be on his good side, wants to please him because they know repercussions of pissing off the king, and they make examples all the time. You see, again, the point of summary execution and public beheadings, that's going to put a lot of fear in people, so that's what we're going to, point of going against the grain. That's why we have to have the fear of the Lord on us, because if not, you can see why it's so easy to bow the knee, because this nigga got a lot of power.
Exactly. Was that not one of the parables in Apocrypha? Will say which is the strongest? Is it the king, the truth, the women?
First address.
Was the king one of them?
I believe
If I'm not mistaken.
King was one.
Yeah, so and it went into detail basically how the king can declare, who lives and who not, which is going into the power of the king. So Esau being the king of Babylon, I remember El Tahar was calling Trump at one time the king of Babylon when he was in office. But Esau being the king of Babylon, he's going to have the power to declare it. All right, whether you live or not. That's why Scripture say, "Love not their life unto death," because you might be faced with that. Once again, the king's heart is in the hands of the Most High. So all the Most High has the last say so. Okay.
And real quick too, because they was in a high position, in Babylon. But then you got a lot of these jakes, sellouts or whatnot, in high positions, and they go take it. Just to try to sway the people, just like in the book of Second Maccabees, Eleazar, the high priest, they try to, persuade him to eat swine. They say, just act like you ate swine. You can eat something else, but just to sway the minds of the people, man.
Yeah. So, you got honorable men, and likewise, those men are back in the day, honorable men, that their integrity will not be compromised. No matter what gifts or things you can offer them, because Scripture says, "Gift to stir up the heart." So there's nothing you can offer them. They're what's the word I'm looking for? Unmovable. Basically, you can't unbargain them. There's no bargaining with those men. There's no bargain you can set that those men are their mind and their heart's gonna be changed because they belong to the Most High. They're His. Okay, so they only purpose here is to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So the elect is the Most High's. Going back to 13, Daniel 3. Oh, you had that. It's like Revelation 12:12.
God, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time."
Exactly, a short time to declare his NWO, to enjoy it. Okay? So he needs worshipers. He needs people to cooperate. If you're trying to hurry up and get something done, you're going to come down with wrath. You're going to come down with hostility, because you know the time is short, and basically you got a lot of people, a lot of sheep to herd.
Right.
So you're going to have to come with some aggression. You ain't just going to be able to come down soft. No. Two horns like a lamb and he spake like a dragon. You're gonna have to threaten. You're gonna have to come down with that some harsh.
You have to be pretty much physical altercation, because of the rebellion, and you got these people, the true leaders of Israel first and foremost, but it's a following. You know what I'm saying? See, that's where that power comes from. Like the brother going to that movie, Buzz Lightyear, it's just one ant, But all it takes is one. Then you got a following now. You know, like Con. Like what was that one dude, the Twitch streamer in New York that had that big shit, like some shit like that. But they pretty much arrested him because it started riots out there because that one dude, he was supposed to be having like giveaways, exactly. But he had a following, you know what I'm saying? People believing on this dude, they behind him, you know what I'm saying? So they pretty much had to make an example out of him. And so that's pretty much what he.
I think it's that's the Yahushua said, well, I don't know if it was prophecy though, concerning Yahushua, smite the shepherd, and then the sheep shall flee. So that's why you guys trying to pray for these, and fight for these positions, in Israel. And you better hope you're ready for it, because that's why when stuff starts hitting the fan, we're gonna new front page.
That's the head off the snake.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an important point to
persecution. This is what this is leading up to. You don't want to bow down to the image. Let's go bring forth that persecution. The famine of the word, which is just all prophecy taking place. That's why Yahweh Shah said, if I can get this real quick, Prophet Sean. The book of John, chapter 16, verse 1, Yahweh Shah speaking. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye shall not be offended. And when you go into that word offended, it goes into to be enticed to sin. Because a lot of people, when that persecution come down, they're going to be offended, they're going to be enticed to sin. They're going to be ready to turn their back on the Lord, on everything that they learn. That's why Yahweh Shai, he said, I told you these things before it came to pass.
They ain't rooted.
Exactly.
They ain't root themselves in the faith. When you root yourself in the faith, you read all the accounts. Your faith is built that no matter what situation you're put in, we have the accounts that the Lord's going to deliver you. You have all the scriptures say, consider our brother Job, man, through the trials he went through. Okay? You gotta be rooted, man, because the tempest is coming. And will that house stand? Your work is gonna be tried. Will it survive? Okay? You got it?
And so that's every point, because you can understand the severity, really going to stoicism, you go into Yahushua's mannerism, how he conduct himself. You don't find no accounts of him BSing and playing around. You see him crying, you see him pissed off. You don't ever hear a piece about him laughing, because he knew what was to come. He cracked jokes here and there, he called sons of thunder,
all things are done on edification.
Yeah, exactly, it's all point.
Everything written in.
Exactly. Yeah, the beautiful for there you go.
They just like Elder Gabar and the elders push real heavy. He said, where's the edification in these guys videotaping parties and cookouts and all that stuff? All things written in here, like the brother said, you don't see Yahushua cracking too many jokes. It's why it's about edification. That all things be done unto edification. That's why we push forth the prophecies. You're doing things that count, because all things done on edification. You gotta feed the people with food convenient, build them up with things, to prepare them, like the brother going to. I tell you these things so you don't be offended. Prepare them for the things to come. That's the whole point of prophecy. That's the whole point of the Lord revealing secrets unto you. So when these things transpire, you're not, as the scripture say, it shall be taken by snare. It shall come upon the whole world, taken by snare. Here it is. A lot of people out there, when this MOTB is implemented, you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? Oh, this is what you gotta get to buy or sell. And a lot of you just gonna be like, oh, it's by snare. It just popped up on you. You don't know what the hell it is, and you're gonna be put in that hostile situation to where you can't. You hungry. You need to purchase something, and you just gonna be like, oh shit. Well, all right, it is what it is. This is what I gotta do. That's you being caught in that snare. When the Lord had already revealed His secrets unto His servants, the prophets, to let you know these things was to come, so you won't be offended by them. You got it.
Every point. John chapter 16, verse 2. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yeah, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service.
Yeah, and even if they don't physically kill you, them persecuting you, them talking to you, that's them persecuting you, talking bad about you. demonizing you. That's them killing you. What? Because they're killing your image. Here it is, you preaching good tidings, you preaching the gospel, and they're persecuting you, they're killing you, they speaking bad about you. They make you look like basically what you're doing is wrong. That's another form of them killing you. Yes, some of us will actually be beheaded. All right, will be some martyrs, but for the most part, all right, the Lord is going to redeem, all right, majority of the elect. All right, He's going to save them. Go ahead.
John verse 3, and these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father, nor me.
Yep, because it was hidden from them, man. Okay, they didn't see these things coming. They don't see they just gonna see the then. They just gonna be in the moment. They're not gonna see what this leads to. Okay, majority of our people trust in Egypt. Their strength is in Egypt. Okay, and basically right now you in the way of their peace and comfortability because you're not down with the program. Just like they was doing with the jabs, right? You had dudes literally getting on the internet snapping, talking about, oh, you motherfuckers, y'all the reason why we still locked up, why we can't do this and can't do that, why we still gotta wear masks because y'all ain't going to get the job. Okay? So you gonna be persecuted, you're gonna be looked at as bad, but really you're doing good. But that's them what's getting persecuting you. Making it seem like what you're doing is evil, man. Writing you off as an evil individual because you've been deceived by the devil into a false sense of security. And that's when your destruction is going to come upon you. You got it.
Last verse, and you got it back. John chapter 16, verse 4. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember that.
Exactly, that you will remember. And it's going to happen to people that we told about this word too. When these things, it's going to be an oh shit moment. Damn, he did say this. He did say that. And it's happening now on low levels. People seeing it. We getting text messages and stuff. Videos being sent like, oh shit, yeah. But mainly for the elect, Yahweh told us that, hey, these things have I said unto you, so when the time comes, you will remember it. So it makes you familiar with the situation. You ever been in a situation that you're not familiar with? It's scary and it's nervous. You're nervous because you've never been in this type of situation before. But Yahweh told us these things to make us familiar with it, so we're not afraid of sudden fear or the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. See, all the precepts and everything, the Spirit, He said, I come in the volume, I come in the volume of the book, it is written to me. So the Lord, Yahweh is speaking throughout all the prophets, through the volume of the book, and all these things just line up and match and go together. Precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. You got it.
Ye may remember that I told you of them, and these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you. Another thing too, a lot of these different Israelite camps, up under that wrong doctrine, even if they have heard the true doctrine, like the brother said earlier, not being rooted, you gotta real deal believe, man. You gotta be founded. If not, if you don't truly believe, you're just doing this as a fad, as something to pass time, or you want somebody to hang out with, or you know what I'm saying, you just bitter about some shit. Hey man, you gonna be taken unaware, because your mind isn't really there, man. The Lord searches the inward parts of man. You see, that's why I said someone will say, Lord, I have prophesied in thy name. He will say, I never knew thee, because you wasn't truly rooted, and ultimately you just wasn't part of the elect, man.
Things Apostle Bar been going into about this. The year 2000 was a big stumbling block, but the MOTP is about to be the ultimate stumbling block, and that's why when Yahushua at that time with the 70, they got offended and bucked, and Yahushua said, to the 12, man, y'all gonna lead too. Was Apostle Peter's response? Where we gonna go? And that's the point. If you really serve the Lord, you ain't got nowhere to go. You truly have to fear Yahweh and have to have faith. And that's what the whole situation right now is. It's true believers. They're gonna pass the test. Everybody else is that reading was the NLT Revelation 3 and 10. It's a test of those who belong to this world. It's a test of those who belong to this world, and a test of those who belong to Yahweh.
Hey, going back to Psalms 91. is make the Lord thy habitation. So like Peter said, it's the same person, the Spirit. You know, where we gonna go? This is our dwelling place. This ministry, this truth. You know, a peace of mind. When somebody, you know, you gotta think. Everything starts in the mind first. Okay, when a man wants to build, he has this image in his mind of a huge infrastructure of a big city. That started in his mind first. Okay, so we have in our mind the kingdom of heaven. You know, this is our dwelling place. This is our home. It's once again the kingdom starts with this knowledge. So where we gonna go? This is it. You know, so this is truly our dwelling place. And people might be like, well, y'all don't really have it. Y'all not really established. Y'all need to be building communities. No. Our dwelling place is in a wisdom. This is, if you, for lack of a better term, this is the community. It's spiritual. It's mentally. It's in our mind. This is where we dwell at. The knowledge and wisdom and stand of Yahweh Shemi Yahushai till Yahushai come and he confirm our faith. And hey, that little rock that Daniel saw that grew and it's going to manifest itself here, but it all starts here. Believing. That's where it starts at. Okay? That was it on that? Alright. Back in Daniel's 3 verse 13, the Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury. Okay? Because you got to understand the position of a king. He's in that power, he's in that authority, he wants everything to obey him. Like, that's just how it is. I'm a king. You're not going to listen to me? That puts you in that position. That's, you see it when you, on your job, you know, you got manners. You see with these police officers. They're in authority over enacting the law. That's why you see all these videos. And you know, as soon as you see that rebellion start resisting, it's just something about them not listening to you when you're in a position of authority. It's just, when you've been granted with this position, when somebody doesn't listen to you, it angers you. So, you know, the king, Esau, Edom, the earth been given to him, he rules over the planet Earth, and he wants everything in obedience and compliance with him, to his ordinances, to his ways. But it's not written in the script as so. The Lord said he has men that's his, that's not going to obey, that's not going to bow down. So it's just tough luck for him. Okay? So those men are going to be made targets. They're going to stick out like sore thumbs. Okay? Remember, broad is the way that leads to destruction, but straight and narrow. So Esau's going to see the broad going this way. He's not worried about the broad. He's worried about that remnant, that few. But little he knows, hey, that's not yours to touch. That's the Most High's. That little remnant, that 10%, the 10, that's the Most High's, and you can't touch that. Once you get ready to touch that, man, that's going to be it for you, man. A standard going to be lifted. Okay? So it says, the Nebuchadnezzar in his rage, back in Daniel's 3 and 13, then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Did not Yahushua say, you shall be brought to rulers? All right, for my name's sake. So these men gonna be brought like, hey, these men are not obeying the laws and ordinances. Because you're gonna stick out. Here it is, everybody bowing down, but you see men still standing up. You just gonna stick out. But once again, Yahushua said, these things have I told you, so you can remember, so you're not offended by it. So you're not persuaded or stirred to follow after the multitude. You have a backbone, you're a true man of the Lord, and you're able to stand up for what's right. Okay? It says, 14, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, is it true? Ask them for a testimony. Speak. Persecution. When Yahushua was brought up, thou says thou the king of Jews. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be brought to questioning. You're going to have to give a testimony. The scripture say they had the testimony of Yahushua. Hey,
one of Revelation 12 and 17, it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and the woman was representation of Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. And we know the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So the remnant, you know, that they keep the ways of the Lord. So just as we read about, you know, the 3 holy children, you know, pretty much the decree was set. But what? that remnant, those 3 men right there, they rehearsed the righteous acts. They kept the ways of the Lord. So now, what it said, he called them, and now it's time for questioning. So now he's ready to make war. And so then, as the story go on, he turned the furnace up. So that's pretty much what's going to happen, in these latter days of persecution. They going to be rolling out all this shit. They already got like their little list about who's going to rebel and whatnot. But the hell, yeah. The hell with the rest of the nation, this is about, Israel. There's ultimately the Lord working through Esau. Esau is nothing, man. This is the wrath of the Lord. The Lord said he's going to, out of all nations, he only knew the nation of Israel. Therefore, I will judge you for your iniquity. So this is just, that's why it's known as the time of Jacob's trouble. It's just the judgment of the Lord. So the Lord is going to turn Esau up, to pinpoint certain individuals. But at the same time, the elect is going to be delivered. The elect is going to make it. But a lot of you false claiming Israelites that's out there playing games, man, you're going to be swept. Swept away by the flood. You got it.
Back in, how long we been going? I don't want to go too long. It's like, spirit is flowing now. Daniel 3:14, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, is it true? O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet and flute, harp, suckwood, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fire. And it's beautiful that they use the same hour time period, because what we come to the hour of temptation.
Right.
The hour, the time period of that fire, of those men being tried. Okay? Where it's going to be turned up to its hottest. Because right now we in a fire. We in a fire right now. Okay? But it's going to be turned up to its hottest temp. Which, once again, turn up to highest temp, what? Temptation. To be tempted. To see what you're made out of. Once again, it says, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace, and who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? So who's going to deliver you out of my hands? That's what Nebuchadnezzar was saying. Okay, and his response. So he asked him his response. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power, our God, whom ye serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Even if the Most High don't deliver us, we ain't gonna worship your image. Because you gotta understand, man, these are special men. And disappointing the Heavenly Father is the last thing they want to do. They hold that dear to them, pleasing their master. So those men can't be compromised, alright? I remember Mike Tyson, he said he feared losing more than dying when he used to box in the ring. The fear of losing was greater than him dying, so he was willing to die. So likewise, the fear, we desire to win, man. To win the Most High's heart, to win his approval, his appreciation. That means more to us than anything, and we've proven it, we've shown it. But now this is the final stage. It's showtime. These men have cast off their lives and purpose what? To please the Most High. Fear the Most High, keep his commandments, because those men are just built different, dog. They just got that in their DNA. They're true servants of Yahweh Shemi Shai. Serving the Most High means more than anything. That's why I say if you was lost mother, father, women, children, all that, they didn't care about pleasing those people. That's why they came to serve the Lord. You know what I mean? You know how many people these men disappointed in their lives, loved ones they have disappointed, and they know it and they've seen it. But that's not what's on in those men's spirits, to please the people on the planet Earth, to please their daughter, to please their son, to please their mother, their grandmother. They didn't care. Yeah, there was in the flesh it affected me, like, damn, you know, a little sorrow came on, but at the end of the day, what mattered was pleasing the Most High. So a man like, and look, even the scripture say even their own lives also. So even pleasing themselves. You have brothers that was set up real good in the world and didn't even care about pleasing their own belly, their flesh. So a man like that death is nothing to him. Because he already died. To live for Yahweh Shai is to die in this world. Okay? So those men are just built different. Esau is nothing. It's nothing you can do, man, to get those men. Yeah, that's something.
That's it, because that's a quote. It says, "There's nothing more scared than a man has nothing to lose." You know, so going to the point of the elect. It's a movie, The Dark Knight with Alfred. Yeah, he's talking about the Joker. He said some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. You know, they can't be bought, they can't be bullied or rationed or negotiated with. You know, some men just want to watch the world burn. You know, and that's us. You know, we wanted to see this bitch be done away with. You know, we don't care if we die as long as this place is gone.
Exactly.
We ain't losing no sleep. But you know, everything that comes up on the news, the disaster, this goes on over here in the world. You know, these decrees and paths, we cheering. You know, we're cheering the world going down. You know, and that's why it goes into us being out of this world. You know, because what Yahweh Shai wants, that's what we want. You know, we tried, you know, loving your family first and then serving a woman and all this other worldly stuff, man. It ain't work. You know. So what are we doing? Israel did everything except for what? Obey Yahweh Shai. And that's we came to the conclusion, hey, let's just serve the Lord and see what happens.
That's right. And what Apostle Peter said, we look forward to a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So we understand that what the old way have to pass on, man. You know, and it's going to pass on by fire. The scriptures say, the Apostle Peter said that the Lord, you know, the first world he destroyed with the flood, but this one by that same word have been reserved, you know, for that day by fire. Real quick, Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
So that's the point. Weighing in your mind, in the balance, being a judge, what's more glorious, you know, suffering, you know, on this side or whatever, you know, who cares? The point is on what's on the other side. You know, you're thinking about what if this don't happen, what if that don't happen? Well, Lord clearly told us it's going to happen if you overcome. You know, a crown of life, you know, because we in these corruptible bodies, it's so hard to even think about having power, you know, being on top and being, you know, at home with our power, you know. But the Lord said, again, if you overcome these things, that's what's in store for you, you know. And that's what we care about, you know, cast off those mortal thoughts. Because that's all people care about is dying. So what? You know? So what about dying? What else? What about after? What about the glory? You know, especially, you know, dying for a purpose, not just being a nigga, JK blasted. Ain't no honor in that, you know. But us serving the Lord and suffering for righteousness' sake, just like Yahweh Shai did. Remember, we're walking like Yahweh Shai did. You know, he's exalted where? And the highest he can be other than on the Heavenly Father on the right hand side. So he said we're going to be joint heirs. I mean, dude, what else? Let's talk about getting put on. You know, Jay want to get a hookup, you know, look out for me. Shit, Yahweh Shai Ben did that. He just said, you know, you continue my word, you're my disciples indeed, man. That's all we had to do is keep following him, you know, no matter what. And that's the point. You know, we fear the Lord. We don't, ain't no other options, you know, because what it's at stake for us, yeah, we already lost everything at the back end. And y'all, you know, of course, you know, again, we're in this present moment, that's where we have to have vision. You know, you got to see past all this, you know, the things that are in store for us, you can't even imagine, you know. So it really just boils down to just doing the right thing. You know, that's all we want to do, serving the Lord. We just want to do the right thing. Probable servants, we're doing what we're supposed to do, what we're paraphrasing, you know, and doing what you're supposed to do goes a long way because look what niggas doing in the world, you know, and just by our faith over many things, we're going to be, a few things, we're going to be rulers over many, you know.
Oh, that was it on that? This is a Psalms, we're close. This is Psalms 121, a song of degrees. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, all caps. In these times, the Messiah has been sent. So we say Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai because the Most High isn't directly dealing with us. He's dealing with us through His Son. All right. So my help cometh from Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai, which made the heaven and earth. Yahweh Shai made. It says He will not suffer It's the point I want to get to that was on my spirit. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. All right, especially, you know, I can speak personal testimony. There's been times where real low in his truth to the point where it's like Abraham, you know, against hope, believe in hope. When it was just like, how are you still here? You know, against all hope, where you just look done, but you wasn't moved. Something just still kept you anchored there. But that's the times we coming in, man. You know, we're gonna be tested. We're gonna be tested, man. The point where it's nothing, you're not gonna have nothing physical there to secure you for a time period, because that's the testing. Your job gone. You know, you lose your job, but you ain't gonna have nowhere to lay your head. You're gonna be evicted. You know, your car, all that is going. You know, you're gonna be stripped of everything. Okay, so it's like all you got is the faith in the Lord. That hang on. But the Lord said, verse 3, He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. So meaning your faith, He's gonna keep you grounded. He's gonna keep you there, man. The impossible, He's gonna do the impossible. He's gonna do it. To where you ain't gonna be moved. You're gonna be there. The point is, you still gonna believe, man. He's gonna keep you there. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. So He's gonna comfort you, man. Somehow, some way, He's gonna give you the Spirit. He's gonna comfort you. Okay. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Okay, so the Lord is not asleep. The Lord is wide awake. And that saying, when you under that fire, that's when you're under the scope. The Lord is directly looking at you. So it's gonna seem you in the flesh. Look at Yahushua. When He was on that cross, He said, my power is out forsaking me. You feel what I'm saying? Because He was at that lowest point, you know. And it's gonna feel like that. But the Lord ain't sleep. It said what? Let me read that part again, Baba Rashad. It says, but he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. So the Lord ain't sleeping these times. He's right there. To the point where it is just that any second He's waiting to send Yahushua back to redeem us, man. All right, so He's on full attention. Everything, He's gonna be right there during these times, right there watching us, right there with us. Before you know it, you're gonna see them ships, them chariots pull up, man. We're gonna get beamed up, and it's gonna be a new day, literally a new day. Okay. So, anybody got anything? Alright, so, that's pretty much it, man. Continue to fight. Keep the faith. Ground yourself. Continue to pray to Yahweh Shai, asking for, mercy. You have mercy for us, that He keep us strong, keep our strength, keep us fighting, keep us pushing forward, and keep that hope in Yahweh Shai, man. That's all we got. It's definitely come down with great wrath. The scriptures, they call us a worm. What kind of defense does a worm have? You don't got no teeth. You don't got no legs. I'm talking about earthworms. It's just the ones they use for bait. It's just there. It has no defense, no offense mechanism. It's helpless. Okay, so that's us. But hey, man, the Lord he gonna come through for us. He's gonna redeem us. So that, Lord's will is edifying. We give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Krakodash, double on us, apostles, great middle stone. Peace, love, and blessings to you, brother. There, shalom.
Shalom.